We've been working on the assumption that free will is about having alternate possibilities, that there is a garden of forking paths before us. We also think that free will is important mainly for moral reasons. It's only because I freely choose to do something good or bad that I deserve praise or blame for it. If I had no choice, if some evil scientist was manipulating my brain to determine my choices, I couldn't be held responsible for my acts. So if I do something good because I choose to do it, rather than do something evil, I deserve praise. And if I do something evil because I chose to do it rather than do something good, I deserve blame. This idea of moral responsibility is what lies behind the idea that free will needs to be about alternate possibilities for many people. This version of free will, this idea that we need to be able to choose one of a selection of alternate possibilities without any cause necessitating one choice or another, is something that the great 18th century philosopher David Hume called liberty of indifference. But actually things are not so simple, because what does it mean to actually have two possibilities before you and be totally free to do either with nothing causing you to do either thing? Well, surely if I have no reason to do one or the other, and before each choice I have total freedom, then my choice just becomes random, does it not? It just becomes like tossing a coin every time I have a decision to make. And that doesn't seem to make me morally responsible for my action. Surely the point is that if I, for example, help a blind person across the road, I'm doing it because I'm a certain type of person, and that gives me a reason to do it, and that causes me to do it. If I just did it by chance, I'm hardly a good person. But if that's the case, then it seems as if we want to have reasons that cause us to act. Now, people will argue that if my character, I'm a good person, I help the person across the road, but I do that because of my environment or my upbringing or genetics, then we're back with the problem of my actions being caused rather than chosen. Surely I need the choice of an alternative to be praised for helping the person across the road. But do I? Take a look at the following. Harry Frankfurt, a 20th century contemporary philosopher, came up with this type of case. So imagine that an evil scientist wants you not to watch this video, and he's placed a chip in your brain that will be triggered if it looks like you're about to watch the video. If he sees you're about to decide to watch it, the chip will change your brain state to make sure that you do not. So you have no alternate possibility here. Whatever happens, you will end up watching the video. But imagine that you simply decide that you do want to watch the video. The scientist does nothing. Why then, just because of the lack of an alternate possibility, have you not acted freely? The point here is that you don't seem to have an alternate possibility, but you still seem to be free because you're doing what you wanted to do. So do we really need alternate possibilities in order to be free? Is there maybe a different definition of free will? So David Hume spoke of liberty of spontaneity. By liberty of spontaneity, he meant a power of acting or not acting according to the terminations of the will. That is, if we choose to remain at rest, we may. If we choose to move, we may also. Now, this hypothetical liberty is universally allowed to belong to everyone who is not a prisoner and in chains. The point here is we don't want to be forced by external circumstances to do something. If you're watching this because someone's pointing a gun at your head and have said they will shoot you if you don't watch it, clearly you're not free. But if you're watching it because you want to, even if you're wanting to as a result of you being a good student, and that's a result of various causal factors, why isn't that freedom? Why should your freedom have to depend on some possibility that by definition you never do? A very different account of freedom suddenly that doesn't require alternate possibilities, but that does seem to be slightly questionable because it's compatible with everything you do being entirely caused. So is that freedom? Suddenly we have two choices, two definitions of freedom, but neither of them actually seem to entirely answer to the kind of freedom we think we want. All of a sudden, free will is becoming slightly mysterious.